All right. Welcome back to another episode of Persuasion by the Pint. I'm Jonathan Taylor, along with
Sean McCool and Jonathan. Today we've got no guest in the studio.
no guest.
We're
This
just
is a
just
first.
us. Yeah, it seems
Been a
like a
while.
first. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
definitely been a while. So, yeah, we've got a good flight of persuasion going on
Mhm.
today. We've got 6 or 7 topics that we'll try to get through, and
Yeah.
shouldn't be too hard to get through. Stuff I've been collecting over the last couple weeks, months, and yeah, I think that'll be fun to talk about and think about, and got some ideas for how people can apply them to their
Yeah.
whatever they're up to.
Yeah. Some of these are really good. So we should have fun with they're all good, actually. They're all good reminders.
Yeah,
But
some of them are.
some of them, you shared these with me earlier today. I'm like, ooh, that's something I can use right away. So
Yeah. Oh, I know which one. Yeah, yeah, definitely. I sent that to my client, their sales manager. He was like, "Oh, nice find."
I
So,
know I've been looking for something like that. So like,
yeah, well,
perfect time.
somebody found a need and filled it. So
Yep.
we'll talk about what that is. But before we do, so that we'll just use that as a tease.
Yes.
Before we do, let's talk about our beverages.
All right.
So I'll go
I'll
first
let you
while you
get.
pull up yours,
Okay. Go ahead.
since you're never ready and have yours pulled up or anything. I'm not doing mine on the screen. I'm just gonna hold it up. So I am trying desperately, Jonathan, to summon the sun here in Texas because it has been raining or cloudy for at
Yeah.
least a month. Like I cannot remember the last sunny day. So my choice today is a very summery beer that I'm hoping will pull the sun just a little bit towards me and like let it know it's welcome here. So it is a Shiner, so it's a Texas beer, right? It's a Shiner Shockwave, and
Shockwave.
it is a strawberry lemonade shandy. And this one actually
Sweet.
comes in at like 8%, which I think is why it's called a Shockwave, because their regular shandies are like 4.5%.
Yeah. Oof.
So this is about twice that, and it's strawberry lemonade shandy. So
That's
we'll
a
see.
perfect by the pool drink.
Right?
If it's sunny.
Yeah.
But
So I'm trying to.
since you guys are stealing the Seattle weather there in Austin.
And I got to tell you, when I poured it into the old chug mug.
Yep.
I got to tell you, it smells like strawberry bubblicious is what it smells like.
Strawberry
Smells like-
bubblicious. Ooh. There's
That's
some
what it smells like.
nostalgia. There's
Yeah,
some nostalgia.
So we'll see if it tastes like that or if it's going to be,
Bubblicious.
yeah, or bubble yum, whatever your favorite was. Yeah, you go either way. Yeah. So what do you?
I was more of a grape bubblicious. That
Yeah.
I can still, if I smelled that, it would take me back, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, we've had a scent expert on. We know that
Absolutely.
scent is the most powerful form of nostalgia.
Right. Yep.
All right. So what do you have over there?
I have a let's see. I was at Casual Pint earlier this week. I was doing a little work over there because unlike you, we had a really beautiful day. I mean, it's been perfect spring weather lately. It's been really nice. But so I went over, got some work done. I think it was Wednesday. I just sat out, where we used to sit out on the little patio there.
Across from Soccer Taco.
That's right across from Soccer Taco. So I'm just sitting out there having a couple of stouts. One is a white chocolate stout. It was so good.
Yeah. That sounds good.
So anyway, I decided to walk over to their cooler just to see what they have. And I found this one. This is it's called an Elliot Ness. I'm going to share my screen here. This
Elliot Ness, that's a character, right? From
Yes. Did you? What was the? Oh man, what was the one with Sean Connery and what's his name played Elliot Ness? The Kevin Costner. I forgot It'll come to me in a second. The movie. But it is so this is a amber lager. Kind of an interesting name considering Elliot Ness was he was going after he was like during Prohibition, so he was like going after the mob, they were
It is
They
kind of
were
weird, right?
bootlegging it, you know. So, but yeah, it looks good. It's 6.1%, 27 IBUs. Admittedly, it's a bit of a paradox to name our amber lager for history's most famous agent of prohibition, but it's smooth, malty, and dare we say, arresting.
There we go.
You do. So
The
we'll
old
see.
pun.
They got me on they did get me on the can art. I thought that was
Yeah,
pretty
the can
cool.
looks nice from what I
Yeah,
can see
I
there.
like
So
that.
it's
Yeah.
very cool.
Yes.
All right. Well, you got yours poured up.
Yeah. Let me and here's a little, you can't see that. Yeah, I do love the can art. Oh, and it's by, just to give them credit, Great Lakes Brewing. Great Lakes
Okay.
Brewing. It looks kind of like an amber, like a red ale, not an amber. It is an amber lager, but it's like a red. It looks like a red ale to me.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Cheers it up.
Cheers.
Oh, there we go.
We'll take the applause too.
We may be hitting applause. I mean, who knows?
Okay. This is interesting.
Oh, that's never a good sign when you say this is interesting.
No, it's not bad. It's I mean, it's definitely got that shandy because it's got the lemon coming through, but it's very strawberry. I mean, it does taste like a strawberry lemonade. It's got this kind of the sourness of the lemon, but the sweetness of the strawberry. So it's got a little of both. I mean, sitting inside on a rainy day, it's probably not the best match, but yeah, I could definitely see this by the pool, hot day. I think this could be a winner for poolside drink. So,
I'm
going to give it for what it is, I'm going to give it a solid. I'm going to give it a 3.9. I was going to say 4, but just under 4. It's got a little aftertaste that I'm not crazy about, but I think 3.9. You have a couple of them, you wouldn't notice the aftertaste. So I think it'd be good. So I'm going to give it a 3.9.
3.9.
Yep.
This is a little dry for me, so I'm going to give mine I'm going to do a 3. I'm going to do a 3.7 on this.
Oh wow! So dry like Asahi type dry, or like Japanese beer dry, or just
I guess like
a weird finish.
Yeah, just a dry finish on the back end. You know, so I was expecting. I guess I was expecting a little more for a lager. To have a little more. I don't know. It's just not. It's not very refreshing. So
yeah. Okay. All right. Well, fighting crime is hard work. Maybe it's just not.
Sorry, Mr. Ness.
Yeah.
Your prohibition days.
Yeah. So anyway. All right. Well, 2 decent beers. Not the best, not the worst. So that's a good start. And I do think the sun is supposed to come out tomorrow, so I'm excited about that.
So you can give credit.
Yeah, I'm going to take the credit for it. So we got it on record.
That's right.
I'll be taking credit for it.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's roll into these. So I sent you the list earlier. We've got, I think, 7 items on our flight today. I think a flight's supposed to be 5, but we always over-deliver here on Persuasion by the Pint.
Always.
So we went with 7.
We don't.
So which one did you want to?
Well, let's start with. I mean, it is a little. I mean, it's been a while, but let's go ahead and tackle McDonald's.
Yeah, when I collected this, I thought we were going to have a show before this. So it's been a month, which is forever in internet land, right? It's been like a month and a half since this happened.
But it did get traction for a while because it was like it was one after the other. Like we're companies jumping on board, right?
Yeah. So everybody probably remembers the McDonald's CEO and his little taste test of the burger, the old McNibble, as the internet liked to call it, and just absolutely crushed him. And then what I thought was just interesting was, one, they didn't handle it well, because we're going to talk about another company, big company, that did handle some PR well.
Yep.
But this company did not handle the PR well. McDonald's did a terrible job handling it. But what was interesting was how all the other food brands just piled on and took advantage of it.
Yep.
And I think we're starting to see this more and more. You'll see it in our other example as well, where people are just, these big companies are now, I don't know if they're setting up alerts or whatever, for other Fortune 500 type businesses to
Yeah.
piggyback on for their social, but it seems like they're watching each other now and
Right.
looking for these kind of opportunities. So yeah, we all know McDonald's was terrible. Or the CEO presentation was terrible, right? He should not ever have been on camera. Obviously doesn't eat his own product, as he calls it. And it's terrible. But one thing I wanted to point out is here in Austin, Burger King was doing it. They were showing the guy taking a big bite out of the Whopper. A couple other places were doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, here in Austin, we have a chain called P. Terry's. That's a local Austin chain, which is good. It's good quality food. It's the place that, native Austinites love it.
Yeah.
The Californians come in and they want their In-N-Out, but we're like, no, you got to try P. Terry's because P. Terry's is better. And it is. But anyway, it was interesting.
What's so good about it?
One, the prices are still like actually decent. They're still one of the least expensive fast food places around, but it's no antibiotics, no hormones in all their food. Scratch made stuff. Like it's just a good burger. Like,
on like a flame grill. Like,
no, they use a flat grill.
Use a flat grill. Okay.
But it's still good. You just have a shake of the month of some kind or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But what was interesting is how the CEO is real active on social media. He's always going to the restaurants. Like he's at the restaurants almost every day. There's probably, 30 or 40 of them around Austin. And so as it was kind of dying down, he did this video and he was just sitting in the booth, had his lunch in front of him. He's like, we've all heard about McDonald's, just very, laid back. He's like, we've all heard of McDonald's. We've seen what Burger King has done. He's like, but I'm not doing that. I'm not going to let you watch me eat. That's just weird. And he said, but I tell you what I'm going to do. If you will comment on this, and he explained why their burgers are better and all that kind of stuff. But then he was like, if you'll leave a comment on this, I'm going to pick 10 people and I'm going to have lunch with you and you can bring a couple friends. I'll meet you at your favorite location and I'll buy lunch. And that was basically the offer. So he never ate on camera. He just, kind of told their story again real quickly. No antibiotics, no hormones, that stuff. And then made that offer.
Yeah.
That video, let me get my numbers right. That video ended up getting 25 million views and 100,000 comments on the post. For a local, that's not even a national
25
chain.
mil for a local chain that has how many locations?
Probably, 30, 40, maybe 50. I don't know.
Mostly in Texas though, right?
Mostly around Austin too. Like they're not even, I don't even know if they're up in Dallas. They're mostly Austin.
I've never seen one. I've traveled to Dallas.
Yeah. So. They're mostly Austin area. So maybe up to Waco or something, but just absolutely blew up, because this is a guy who's on social media on a regular basis. He's used to being in front of the camera. He doesn't have a huge, big personality. He's just very kind of straightforward and, no nonsense kind of guy.
Mm-hmm.
He's always talking about the new restaurant that's launching or, the new whatever. So he's kind of used to being there. And I think that's one of the mistakes. And I think that's one of the lessons from this is obviously the McDonald's CEO is not used to being on camera.
Yeah. No,
that was the first mistake.
No, didn't he look very uncomfortable? I mean, he looked like he didn't really belong. He looked like he was kind of stuck up. I mean, didn't it?
Yeah, that's how he came across for sure. So I think that's a couple lessons you can take. One, like if you're going to be the spokesperson, like, and I know if you're starting out in your small business, you got to you're going to make some mistakes. You're going to be clumsy at first, but maybe pick somebody from your company that's good at being on camera, photogenic, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Wouldn't hurt to have a tan if if you're going to be online either, Don't be
So
pasty
can we
white.
pull this? I just to showcase it. If you're watching on video, can we pull up? I'm gonna look. I found P. Terry's.
Yeah, put a link in the doc I sent you
Oh, okay, cool.
of the CEOs.
Okay, yeah. Let's see.
I just don't know if the sound will come through. I was trying to test that earlier.
Is that it? That's the one, right?
Yep, I think so.
So let's see.
Just entered the burger wars after McDonald's. CEO went viral. Instead of filming himself eating on camera, Patrick Terry from P. Terry's said he finds that awkward. So he chose a different move.
So instead of you watching me eat this,
Can you hear that?
Yeah.
Okay.
which frankly makes me a little uncomfortable, I'd rather you comment below and I'll pick 10 names and come have lunch with you. Bring a couple of your friends. We'll meet at your favorite P. Terry's. And of course, I'll buy. So let me eat my lunch in peace and you have a good rest of the day.
Let me just eat my lunch in peace, please.
Yeah.
He sounds down to earth, right? I mean,
Yeah. He's a good old Texas guy and just, no nonsense. And when he's on social media, he's like that all the time. He's never like super up, super cheesy. He's just kind of, middle of the road and states his facts and, puts out whatever. They do some cool stuff. Like a couple times a year, they'll do a give back day where all profits from every store goes to a certain charity.
Yeah.
They did that last year when the floods happened here, when the really bad floods happened in July.
Right.
So in August, they did a Saturday where every dollar that they make, profit that they make, went to flood relief. And there were lines that were 2 hours, 3 hours long.
Wow.
Of people supporting them, just waiting in line and their give back days, I think is what they call them.
Yeah.
And they always do really well on those. So it's a good organization.
That's cool.
So,
yeah.
But yeah, he's just, super casual. He's, took a different approach, didn't try to one up. He just, was it Carl Jung talks about the third option, right? It's like,
yeah, that's right. You don't have to copy everybody else.
Yeah. Just because it was a trend doesn't mean you have to jump on it. You can find that third thing. And it worked. I mean, I mean, you can imagine trying to buy 25 million views, how much that would cost you. I mean, it's insane. So,
and he used it not just as a publicity. I mean, it was more than just publicity, but he used it as a way for engagement, for people to comment, but also, you bring more people. What's the, people who have never or have maybe they haven't frequented one of the restaurants very often, but they get selected. They come in. They share the story. It continues to spread, so.
Yeah. And all the comments, are fans. So they're all raving about trying to get picked, so the comments just go viral because everybody's trying to get their name in to be picked. And I put my name in, I wrote something nice about it. They've got probably 100,000 testimonials now on there that they could mine for whatever. Yeah. I haven't seen them do much with it. I know they had the meetings and I think they featured some of the people, but so yeah, it's pretty cool idea. Pretty cool way to take advantage of that.
So I noticed like some lessons from this. First of all, if you haven't seen the McDonald's, it is kind of cheesy. I mean, it's kind of cringy if you watch him, but he calls the hamburger a product. I don't know. I don't know how many people that call their food products, but that was kind of weird, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely industry jargon. Like if you're in the boardroom and
if you're amongst colleagues, if you're in the boardroom and your sales of product, if you're talking in terms of growth and all of that stuff amongst your peers, that's one.
But not
thing.
while the camera's rolling.
No.
I mean, that's just stupid. Yeah, and it was that combination of stuff. Just the way he looked uncomfortable. It looked like he'd never eaten one in his life. Calling it a product instead of a burger.
What is it? What was the? Because I don't eat McDonald's very often. It's a new sandwich they have, right?
Yeah, I can't remember what it was called.
It's like
Big Arch.
Big Arch. That's it. Big Arch. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe Arch Manning will. Maybe they should.
Hey, there you go. Look at that.
They could have done that. That would have been better.
It would have been a whole lot better.
Yeah.
Big Arch, man. Gosh,
Missed that one,
I should
man.
be hiring you, man.
I'm telling you, just get a whiteboard and we could figure it out.
Seriously.
Try to save the Big Arch. So, well, let's talk
Yeah.
about another one. This was one of my favorites, number 2 on the list.
Okay. Ooh.
Because
French fried cookies.
yeah, so
there's a pattern going here.
imagine trying to one up the chocolate chip cookie. That's a big ask, to try to one up a chocolate
Very
chip
difficult.
cookie.
Yeah.
How do you stand out? Because there's like these cookie shops popping up all over in every suburb, Crumble and Tiff Streets and whatever.
Crumble,
else
I think,
is
is overrated though.
Well, they're all overrated, I think. They're just they're expensive, super sweet, almost too much. They're more like a cupcake than a cookie.
Exactly.
Really. But this bakery in Mexico decided to make cookies, chocolate chip cookies was what was in the video, in the shape of crinkle cut fries.
Now that's pretty interesting.
And they put the crinkle cut fries in a fry container, the good old, fry sleeve. And then they gave you chocolate dipping sauce to go with the cookies.
Oh, man.
I mean, so instead of ketchup for your fries, you get chocolate dipping. I don't know, maybe they had some other flavors too, but I thought that was just, I saw that and I was like, that's absolutely incredible. Yeah, you got the video there.
Look at that. Ooh. That's pretty amazing looking.
Yeah. And you get a whole sleeve of them. Because, the thing about a cookie, right, is you can eat it with one hand. It's portable. Like it's an easy snack. It's not super messy.
Yeah.
So, you don't want to lose any of those things about the cookie. So they took that same thing and then they just cut it up into French fry shapes. And I mean, just brilliant, I thought. So I was like,
what do those sell for? But there's a huge upcharge on that.
I'm sure there is. I mean, I didn't see any prices. It's in Mexico. I'm sure somebody feels like something Taco Bell would do,
Yeah.
with their cheddar fries or whatever their fry things are.
Yeah.
Seems like something they do, but I hope somebody here in the US does that. That's a great idea.
Yeah.
But I was thinking like, this is not unusual, taking the same exact product, use the word product there, the same exact food,
cookie.
But in this case, product is the right word.
Yeah.
And turning it into just a different form of the same thing. And one area we've seen explode in this is vitamins going from pills to gummies. Right? It's the same thing. It's the same,
That's right.
Whatever, zinc or magnesium. And now you can get any vitamin out there, it seems like, in a gummy. So you don't get just the vitamin, you get the vitamin plus a little sugar and sweetness and everything else. But it's the same thing, but it's a different experience for people to have the gummy than it is to swallow a pill.
Well, and you're also, what is the old marketing? You meet people where they want to go, right? It's like make it less friction,
and more of an experience.
Yeah, more of an experience. So friction in vitamins is having to take these big giant capsules that you have to gulp down, half a glass of water just to, get down your throat. And gummies, like you just pop a chew, right?
Yeah.
And pop one of these gummies and chew it. So
yeah, and you can actually do a lot of mixtures with the gummies, where you can have, vitamin C plus zinc plus magnesium or something like that. It's a little easier to, instead of taking 3 pills, it's all in one gummy or 2 gummies.
Yep.
So I was like, well, that's interesting. And I wonder what else has been doing this for a long time. We just didn't notice it. So one thing I thought of is well, most drinks, like a Coke, it comes in a can, it comes in a bottle, it comes in a fountain drink.
Yep.
It's all the same beverage, but it comes in 3 different things depending on where you are and what you're, what you're up to and what you want at the time. Like you want cans.
Mini cans, you got cans, you got mini cans, you got bottles.
You got the tall, thin cans, you got the 20-ounce bottles. I tell you what though, Jonathan, I miss the 16-ounce round glass bottle that we had back in the 80s.
Yeah.
With the little styrofoam wrapper around it.
Yeah, the styrofoam. Yeah,
Like
exactly.
super thin styrofoam or something.
You always had to peel those things off. I don't know. It was like you just had
Yeah.
to chip that away with your finger.
Yeah. I like
Those
the
were
glass
awesome.
bottles.
Because they were so when you got them cold, they were just so good.
Yeah,
You
it
know?
was just a cleaner, fresher taste because it's a
Mhm.
bottle. You know? So yeah, and I was like, well, what else? Well, we've had books and we have audiobooks and now we have ebooks. Like, you know, that's 3 different formats for the same
Right.
exact item. So really just taking this cookie and putting it in a different shape is brilliant, but at the same time, it's what we've been doing with different products for
of course.
decades, you know?
Yeah.
So then I was like, well, what kind of thing could our listeners do? Well, you could turn a product into a service or a service into a product. Like the service into a product. Have you ever read the book Made to Sell?
Yes.
That's that whole thing,
Great
that whole book about, yeah, it's a great book. Talks about how to take I think in the book, it's a story of like a graphic designer who basically productizes their logo making into, a product instead of a service, so they can have more customers and more streamlined and all that. Of course, now they're probably out of business since, AI can whip up a logo in 13 seconds.
Yep.
So, but yeah, so there's like all kinds of ways that you could take your different products and services and just like, how could you repackage them? Like, what could you do to make it the experience of the same thing be just a little bit different?
Right.
So, I want to find some of those. Maybe I'll just see if Tamara can make me some French fry cookies.
Man, send me some for Christmas, please.
Yeah, you could even do like loaded fries, right? Make them French fries, make them French fried shape, put them on a platter all stacked up, and then just pour chocolate and caramel and powdered sugar over the top, like loaded fries.
Now you're talking a little powdered sugar on those things.
Oh man, I'm ready to have to make an HEB run here after the show.
Yeah, just something different. People are like, people are looking for different experiences. I mean, like you said, like, meet people where they want to go. Like,
like that Choco Taco. Remember when that came out for a while?
That's right. That's right.
It was a good ice cream sandwich.
Yep.
All right, so let's talk about your favorite one on the list. I'll let you talk about it because you went and looked at it a little bit.
Love it.
So I'll let you lead with this one.
So this is this.
This is right up your alley because you've done similar stuff.
Because I send direct mail out to high executives all the time. So I want to pull this up. It is the is it the cold cake? I think
it's coldcaking.com.
Cold caking, yes. All right, so oh man, this is awesome. So this is a cold caking is sending a freshly baked cake or pastry from a local bakery near your prospect's office with your branding. So you can put your branding on it, a short pitch, and a QR code. I love that to book a meeting. And there's actually, so this company's called Cold Caking. Yep. They handle all the logistics. So basically what you do is just go in, you log in, and you create it, and then they kind of do all the logistics from their end, depending on where your prospect's location is. So, you got somebody that's in Nashville, you go on their website and you put all the information in, and they handle it from there. They put your logo, they put a QR code, they put a special message, and they'll send a nice fresh pastry locally.
Yeah. And how about this? They've got numbers on this already because they've been so successful with it. 3 times higher response rate than cold email, which I don't think would be hard to do.
No.
68% meeting acceptance after receiving one of these.
Wow.
That's pretty high.
I've got a list already. You know this. I have a list.
That list is probably just got longer too. 40% larger deal sizes when gifting is part of outreach. That's probably not just for cake. That's probably gifting in general.
Yep.
And it's different, like if it shows up without you, like, you know, I know a lot of times you might take donuts in and as you trying to meet somebody or, you know, lunch or stuff like that, but to have it go ahead of you before
Mhm.
you've made the relationship is, I think, what makes this neat.
Oh,
And
yeah.
everybody loves food. Everybody loves the, you know, the whatever's in the conference room.
Yes.
If you've ever worked in an office, then you know, like, you know, cake in the conference room. It's like everybody's going to check it out. You know,
Yeah. Let's see.
um,
This is great because I love the thing about I love experiences like this that I can just get online, fill out stuff, you know, put my message, my logo, whatever, and then have it sent. I hate having to do any kind of footwork on this stuff, you know. So
right.
I'm always looking for companies. That's why I've used send out cards for the last 15 years, you know, just simply because I can get on, I can send out a quick card. I can create a campaign that goes out to prospects, you know, for, you know, automatically without
I
even
mean,
thinking.
and check out some of these things. So obviously they're going to use local bakeries, branded cards, but they have order
Right.
tracking, so you know exactly when it shows up. They
Mhm.
got a team dashboard so that if you're managing a team of salespeople, you can see who's using it, what their budgets are. They even have they're planning CRM integration with Salesforce and HubSpot. So this company, this coldcaking.com, it's pretty cool. They have some different packages. I'm not sure exactly. Obviously, that didn't include the price of cakes or anything, but um, you know, they're charging, what's it look like, $25 to $60 per order
Yeah.
to handle a lot of the, like you said, the footwork. You know,
But
um,
that's I mean, that to me, that's easy. I mean, that's a no-brainer because
yeah,
you're not sending these out to everybody. You're sending these
no,
out to people that you're trying to get meetings with.
yeah, this is your top 10, top 20,
Yeah.
maybe top 100 if you're a huge company.
Yeah.
You know,
These are execs. These are,
right?
you know,
These are six-figure deals. You know, five, six,
yes. Yes.
seven-figure deals, that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. So
Yep.
the ROI is there if you land, you know,
And you can
30.
follow up. You could use this as, you know, like a follow-up after you just gain some business as a
Yeah,
thank you. You probably
yeah,
throw
or
in a
after
little thank you
after
and
the
thank you for
first
your
meeting.
business. Yep.
Yeah. Hey, enjoyed meeting with you.
Yeah.
Here, have some cake.
Have some
So,
cake. Let them eat cake. Not yeah. Not in the not queen. What was what who said that? Let them eat cake.
let them eat cake. I don't know who said
The
that.
Queen of France. It was I'm drawing a blank. She wasn't thought very highly of, but that was right before the revolution, I think.
Yeah. So
But yeah, in this case, they can eat cake for sure, and you
yes,
might gain
that's
some business.
let me throw that in the old chat windows over here. So that was coldcaking.com if you're listening on the podcast.
Cool name too, by the way. I don't know how long
Yeah,
this company's been around.
I think they're pretty new, but I think
I
this
like
kid.
that little play on words, cold, like cold calling, cold
Yep.
caking.
Yeah.
Uh,
Easy to remember.
yep.
Got it. Like you said, they did all the footwork for you. And yeah, it's a great idea. And like I said, I sent it to the sales manager for my client. He was like, "This is great. Thank you so much."
Yeah.
So
That's awesome, man.
yeah, good stuff. All right, well, let's move on. We've got so this one was interesting.
That was Queen Marie Antoinette that said, "Let them eat cake. Let them eat cake.
Let 'em
Let
eat
those
cake."
peasants eat cake."
Yeah, she wasn't saying it nicely. Peasants. Similar to
All
bread
right.
and circuses, right?
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. So this was interesting. We talked on a couple episodes ago. We talked about how to increase orders of drinks or
Ooh,
increase.
yes. This is
Remember
good.
that?
Yep.
So this is similar in that vein,
Mhm.
and this is for bars and restaurants. But I think there's ways we can apply it to just
Yeah.
other businesses as well. So a Georgia State study found customers in dimly lit bars spent 39% more on alcohol and 300% more on desserts and 24% more on appetizers.
Whew.
that's a lot of extra food and drink. And they did a study, Journal of Consumer Psychology. They found that the dim light lowers cortisol, so people aren't as stressed. It dilates pupils, slows the pace, and lowers inhibition, which is the real secret, right? Because
yeah.
And didn't your parents always tell you nothing good happens after dark?
It's true. A lot of things do happen after dark, but they're typically not good.
Yeah. So, but yeah, just that little bit less light lowers the inhibition. And I guess, psychologically, you're like, well, not everybody, there's not a spotlight on me. Like, I'm not out in the open. Like, so if I want to have an extra drink or want to have an extra appetizer, there's not as much guilt around it because you don't feel as seen as you would in a bright light.
Yeah. Yeah, and I can see that. I think about the environment, the settings that you go to where it does feel like you do feel more relaxed in an environment where it's the lighting's dim, it's quiet. As opposed to, you walk in or you go in someplace where it's more lit. I think you do feel a little more on edge. You want to get out there as quick as possible. And it's typically, don't you find that it's probably the more expensive restaurants that are, darker, right?
Yeah, or a bar for sure, because they're trying to get the drinks. And well, I mean, I think the good example is like if I walk into a Wendy's, right? They've got glass on 3 sides of the dining area, right? And most fast foods, in fact, they have a wall, at least 2 walls of windows,
right,
where you would sit down and eat. Almost nobody sits down and eats inside of a fast food place anymore. No. But they're pretty bright. They're open, and by design, they don't want you hanging out in there. They want you to take the food and go. You're you're not ordering a second drink or anything like that.
Right.
Although there is one McDonald's in Frisco, I don't know if it's still there. This was probably 15, 20 years ago when I was there. That they had decorated the whole McDonald's just like a super swanky, like it had chandeliers, had black wallpaper and sconce lighting and all that stuff. And the story is the guy that owned a lot of the franchises in Dallas area, he let his wife decorate that one, and she went like full upscale stuff. And people would have meetings in there. They would have it was interesting. Wow. Like I said, I don't know if it's still there or not, but yeah, it's like
meeting in a McDonald's, huh?
Yeah, because it looks so upscale. Wow. And they had the McCafe in there and all that kind of stuff too. But yeah, it's like I guess the lesson here is the environment is a form of copy, or it's in a form of it's part of the sales presentation. It sets the stage, without you having to say a word. And I was thinking about this, and I noticed how a lot of the top podcasts, including this one, obviously, is that the backgrounds, that's the thing in podcasting, right? You want the lights a little bit low, you want the backlighting, you want everything's a little bit dimmer. You don't see like super bright lighting on a podcast because you're trying to get that same thing where you're trying to lower cortisol. You're trying to get people relaxed when they're watching. All that kind of stuff. So it can happen.
Soothing jazz music in the background.
Yeah, a little soothing jazz, little
Coltrane,
little lo-fi, a little sound of rain in the background, maybe.
There you go. Yeah,
all that stuff. So yeah, it's like
maybe this is a lesson of these coffee shops that these patrons that come in there and they sit for hours without buying much. They just kind of work there at the table. Maybe they need to crank the lights up. Turn the dimmer up a little bit,
or turn it down. Maybe it's just in that weird spot where it feels like an office environment instead of if you dim it down a little bit, maybe they would drink more. Maybe they'd go get an extra pastry I would probably go down a little bit because then it's too dark to work.
Right? Well, that's true.
Although if you got a backlit screen, it's not
the backlit. Yeah.
It's not that hard, but
I crank that. It is maybe up. Your time's up. We're turning the light up.
Yeah. Strobe light. Have a flash, a house light that goes right on them when they've been there too long. You can either leave or you can order something else. The light will go off.
The light will go.
Just put a
No,
little quarter in.
that's so interesting. The psychology behind that lowers cortisol.
Yeah.
That's pretty wild.
Well, that's one reason you're supposed to start turning off your lights at night. Turn on lamps instead of overhead lights.
Right.
You know, just kind of let things
And not have your
slowly
screen on. Like,
like all those things help. And
cut that off.
like on my computer, I have the sunset mode on, you know, so it turns that kind of gold color at the near sunset.
Yeah.
I actually had mine turned on about 2 or 3 hours before that, because especially in the summer, it's already coming. But so the big lesson is like, how could you let the environment, and even like the website itself, is it too bright? Like, do you need to put a little bit more color gradient on the background so it's a little softer and not shouting at the person when they log onto your website? All those little things are ways that you can bring down that cortisol and slow the pace and lower the inhibition of whatever they're trying to do at the moment.
Yeah.
All right.
You know, it's interesting. I noticed all the movies that you've watched in the last, let's say 10 years, everything, it seems, don't they seem darker? Like,
yes,
the lighting is always darker in those.
Yeah. I think that's to sell new TVs, because the old TVs, the way they're lit, the backlit, you can't even watch some of these shows. Like, if you don't have a OLED light where it's, every pixel, it's its own light, it just washes it out.
Mm-hmm.
But Tamara and I have talked about that. It's like, why are these shows so dark? Like, it's just, everything's a little bit darker.
It's like,
so I wonder if there's some intentionality around that. It's, around trying to lower the cortisol, even though you're watching a murder mystery or whatever. But it's like,
right,
or a horror movie or whatever. But it is. And I wonder if,
well, I've heard cinematographers say that, like, I think there's some intention to that, because they try to use like 3 main colors. Like, there's a primary, like, dark color, and then they use like 2 other, I guess, accent colors, in that. So it's all intentional, right?
Yeah.
But I'm not sure what it's so interesting though, because if you watch movies from our generation, back from the 80s or maybe 90s too, it's like you watch a scene in an office or wherever the location is, the lighting is so much brighter. But you compared today, you watch something and it's just like, whew, man.
I noticed too. I saw somebody say, have you ever noticed how any movie that's like showing Mexico or Latin America or anything like that, it'll have like an orange overlay tint to the whole scene?
Oh yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? It's got kind of that dusty Arizona orange glow to it.
That's right.
Over the whole thing. I was like, oh yeah, I never noticed that, but yes, I guess it does, because that's not what it looks like when you actually go to Mexico. It doesn't have orange tint on everything. So, it's funny how you can use that color to just identify things and make you feel a certain way about whatever you're looking at. You should have a color theory expert on.
Money, the what is a movie comes to mind is No Country for Old Men, because it takes place, a lot of it takes place out in the I think it's out on the border, one of the border states to Mexico.
What was the one with Brad Pitt? Was it Two Guns or Two with the really fancy gun, and there was as much a star of the show as anything else? I thought it was Two Guns, maybe not. But yeah, a lot of those are like that. Yeah. And you'll see certain colors over, Middle Eastern, and it's a little more tan if it's a Middle Eastern shot, that kind of stuff. So jungles are going to have really play up the green colors, and just
it's so interesting.
Saturation in different ways.
We should definitely have a cinematographer or a filmographer or whatever.
Or a color theory person that can tell us, websites and food colors and all that kind of stuff.
Absolutely.
Well, here's another one that's getting a little bit dated at the moment, but it was kind of the same thing as the first, as McDonald's. And that was the KitKat heist that happened in late March.
Now, I didn't hear about this. So
You didn't hear about this?
No,
Where
I
have
did
you
not.
been? Wow.
I don't
Okay.
know.
I
mean, the
everybody knew
McDonald's
about
was
this.
everywhere, but I did not hear about this KitKat heist.
Yeah, so the story is a truck carrying 413,000 Formula One themed KitKat bars was stolen between Italy and Poland in late March.
So Formula One theme, meaning the race, the Formula One
Right.
race.
So
right?
it had the packaging was Formula One themed.
Right.
So the entire truck was just jacked, and they stole the whole load of Kit Kats. And this went crazy. This like it kind of leaked at first, and Kit Kat immediately took advantage of it and was like, because it's kind of funny, right? So it made the
This
NBC,
almost sounds
CBS.
intentional.
Yeah, I know, right? And they still
The
claim to
cat
this day that
burglar.
it's not.
The KAT burglar, right?
But the reason it got traction is because it's kind of absurd, right? That somebody would steal a whole truckload of Kit Kats. So
Right.
all the major media outlets picked it up. And then once Kit Kat saw that, they're like, oh, if they're going to give us free press, we might as well use it.
Of course.
So they leaned into the have a break tagline, and they said, thieves have taken the message too literally and made a break with more than 12 tons of our chocolate. And then they launched an app. Like in the same week, they launched an app where you could scan your Kit Kat, the barcode, and know if it was part of the stolen shipment or not.
That's awesome.
And I was like, that is awesome. And they got like 2.2 million tracker engagements. Their Kit Kat views jumped from 1 million to 29 million on their
29 million. Wow.
On their social medias and things like that. And then all the other, food brands started jumping on, and they started doing memes about it. And like, well, we don't know anything about it, but then they would have like chocolate on their Domino's box, or they would, just, and it was just kind of funny, like how they all piled on with different versions. And, we're now launching our Kit Kat, dessert menu or something like that. And obviously everybody's wondering, is this staged? Is it not? Is it real? And apparently it really happened. And my research says
the whole truck was just, somebody robbed the whole truck. They just took off with the truck. They carjacked the Kit Kat truck.
Yeah. And apparently the tracker has generated a lead. So,
I don't know. I'm my skeptical side. I don't know.
So let's say it's not, because I thought the same thing. I'm like, it's like, I don't know. I mean, even if I found out, like if they came clean, like, because it was so close to April Fool's too. That was the other thing. Like it was like 2 or 3 days before April Fool's. But I'm like, I was thinking about that. Like if they came out tomorrow and said, all right, we're just kidding, it was a joke, I'd be fine with it. Like I actually don't think I'd have a problem with it. Some companies I probably would have, but with candy company, I wouldn't really have a problem with it.
Yeah.
So, but I think the lesson here is how quickly they adapted to it. So let's say it is a real situation.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't get all worried about it. They took advantage of it. What's the old saying from the politicians? Never let a good crisis go to waste.
Right. Yep.
Was that Rahm Emanuel or somebody that said that back in the day?
Yeah, back in the Obama.
So they took the crisis and they turned it into a whole marketing event.
Yeah.
And I think there's a lot of companies that could do that. Like if you have a crisis inside your company, and we've seen people do that with like their 1-star reviews, right? That they'll make an ad with their 1-star reviews, or they'll, all like, that's not really a crisis, but there's different ways you can play that. Right. And, didn't require anything new from their end. And I haven't seen any numbers yet, but I'd love to see at some point, like how many dollars worth of publicity they got out of that.
I'm going to say this is totally planned. Have a break tagline thieves have taken the message too literally and have made a break.
But have a break was already their tagline.
I know, but I don't know.
Give
It
me
just
a break.
who
Break
steals
me
a
off a
truck
piece of that
with
KitKat
nothing
bar.
but KitKat bars?
I
I
know, so
mean,
well, you know, Kit Kats are big in Japan, so maybe they
yeah,
were hijacking and going to Japan or something with it.
yeah. I don't know. Maybe
It was
I mean,
funny
it
too
could be real.
because a lot of people were blaming Hungary,
Yeah,
the country, because it was right there in the same area.
yeah.
Trying to do a little play on words, but yeah, I mean, but the big thing is they took
I could
advantage
see
of it.
them like completely. You can distance yourself by having somebody that you know. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. We'll see.
We'll
It's
see if it ever comes out.
yeah.
But hey, even if it does, because we're
But
going to
20,
talk
I
about
mean,
another one here in a second that
oh yeah.
is intentional and it worked
Mhm.
just fine, you
Yeah,
know, and most people don't even know what
absolutely.
happened. So
Yeah.
yeah, I think, you know, when stuff happens to your business that isn't good, like, is there a way that you can play it up and actually make it good PR for you?
Right.
This happened with, and this is not, there is a whole series of these like food heist events that have happened.
Yeah.
Did you hear about Guy Fieri and his tequila brand? And they lost like 2 trucks worth of tequila.
I did not.
Yeah, completely just got hijacked.
Yeah.
They ended up finding one of the trucks, but they didn't find the other one. And yeah, hijacked the whole truckload of tequila. And you know, tequila takes a little while to make. So
Sure.
it was, you know, a couple $1 million worth of tequila that just got
Wow.
hijacked.
Wow.
And apparently it happens. It happens more than people.
And
think.
what's interesting is they never catch these people.
Yeah.
You'd think that would like if they, you know, there's cameras everywhere, you know,
Yeah.
so it's
I think they're, you know, now they're putting more trackers in the pallets and,
Right.
you know, all the
Yeah.
different things. But
Yep.
yeah, you would never expect somebody's going to steal a truckload of KitKat bars. You just wouldn't,
Yeah.
you know, I mean, even 400,000 KitKat bars, it's not a huge score, even $1 a piece. I mean, it's not a huge score for the risk that you're talking about taking. And it's still grand theft, but so anyway, well, we got 2 more. So let's move on.
$30 AirTag, Apple AirTag. That's all you got to do.
Yeah, just throw a couple of them in there.
Just throw them in the truck.
So here's one that I did not know, and this kind of took me by surprise when I found out about it. So we all know Red Bull. Red Bull's everywhere, right? I mean, they own,
Yes.
Monster owned the energy drink market.
Yep.
But it wasn't always that way. When they started, I mean, they were the new guy at one point, and there was already a lot of energy drinks out there. So
I
what
did
did
not
they
know
do?
that they started back in the early 90s. That's news to me. I thought they were like maybe late 90s.
Yeah, it's been a while.
That's crazy.
So in London, apparently what they did, I don't know if they did it in the US too. I wouldn't doubt it at all, especially colleges, campuses.
Mhm.
So what they would do is they would take empty Red Bull cans and crush them up, or, you know, just throw them in trash cans, leave them
Yeah.
outside of bars, leave them on the corners at bus stops, like put them on campuses, you know, and they would just leave these empty cans everywhere so that it looks like everybody must be drinking Red Bull because there's these empty cans all over the place.
Right.
And then in addition to that, they would give free cans, full cans, to DJs, you know, and different people that were at different clubs, so they basically they manufactured social proof. Because if you can't, you know, get people drinking, what do? You just make it look like people
make it
are
look
drinking.
like it, make it appear.
So I was wondering, like, what are some other ways you could do this? Well, if you owned a restaurant, you could park a couple extra cars in the parking lot.
Yeah, for sure.
To make it look, because, you know, nothing's worse than thinking about going to a restaurant and you pull up and there's no cars in the parking lot.
Right.
You know, so instead of making your employees park in the back, like make them park up near the road or something instead of around back.
Right.
Yeah. So I'm like, how can you engineer social proof to make it look like people are using it? And, you know, then you got an ethics issue. Like, I don't know, is that ethical? Is it not? Like,
right.
You know, but it worked for Red Bull. They now own 43% of the energy drink market. So,
yeah. They were priming the pump. I mean, so to speak. It was, that social proof, empty cans. People think, what is this stuff? Who's drinking this?
Yeah.
It's all over the place.
And, also their cans were a different shape. They were smaller than everybody else's cans. They were skinny. So there was some intrigue there, just from the can size. That was very intentional when they launched the market. They wanted to, I think they did some stuff around like, well, if it's in a smaller can, it must be more powerful. It must be stronger if it's in a smaller can.
Right.
Even though they never said that, that was just kind of the assumption that a lot of consumers had.
Yeah.
So yeah, talk about some true guerrilla marketing, man. Just throwing some empty cans of your product around to make people think everybody's using it.
Social proof is so powerful. I mean, people.
We've talked about the studies here where, if there's a focus group at a table, like, if the first 3 people say the same thing, then the fourth person is almost guaranteed to say it because they don't want to go against the crowd, for the most part. And we all think we'd be the person that would go against the crowd, but studies show it's, it's pretty rare.
What did it makes me think of Hitchcock. Remember we've talked about this with the site, when the Psycho movie came out back in, what was that, like the 60s, late 60s or something like that. But he had, he had people walking in the theater, he had like staged people, like hired people that would go in the, created lines to make it appear like it was almost completely sold out. Right.
Yeah. I think Barnum did similar stuff, right? P.T. Barnum did similar stuff where he'd gather a crowd around and pay people to gather around, kind of create that spectacle.
That's
and,
right.
If you're, the pitch people that do like sell the mops in, Walmart or whatever.
Right.
They have a very specific way they do that where they always start their presentation. They kind of overlap their presentation with the crowd that came late and the crowd that's trying to get them to form and that kind of stuff. Right. There's a whole artwork to that, managing that crowd so that there's always somebody there.
Yeah.
Trying to keep somebody around to make it look like there's always interest there.
Yep.
So you got to figure out how do you do that for your business. Figure out where your customers already are. That's what, this is basically what branding is, right?
Yeah.
And Red Bull, really, if you think about it, like, let me answer the ethics question. One way I would answer it. An empty can is not much different than a billboard. Right? It's you're putting your product up there and you're putting your product down here. Like it's kind of the same thing. So I can understand how you could justify that. So it's like, you remember when Mini Cooper, I think it was early in their relaunch, they put their cars on top of like Excursions and Suburban vehicles to show the size, and how much smaller they were, and they weren't these big gas guzzlers. They could literally fit on top of these things. Yeah, that kind of visual thing is super impactful.
Absolutely.
All right, so we got one more. Look at that, we're right on time. Look at that.
Pinterest.
So this one, this is one I saw. I know you think they're still huge.
I know, right? I know they are. That's not to say they're not big. I just, it's because they're massive.
Yeah, they're a massive search engine. And you can generate a lot of traffic by posting on Pinterest if you've got a blog or a website. But we were watching Netflix the other night and I saw this ad, and can you pull it up since your sound seems to come through on there?
Yep. Let's see.
It's inside that.
Yes.
That link. So while you're pulling that up, so Pinterest launched this campaign. Well, yeah, you've got it. There it is.
There you go.
I'm just going to let the audio. We'll let the audio play. It's like 45 seconds.
Okay.
How did they do it? Back in the olden times. How did they make it through yet another day, just existing? How did they live their lives without posting about it? How did they know they liked something if the thing they thought they liked hadn't already gotten any likes? How did they know what to think, what to wear, who to love? How did they know who they were without the rest of the world telling them?
And then it fades out and it says the best thing you can find online is a reason to go offline.
That's awesome. What a great message.
Yeah. So my favorite line in that was, how did they know they liked something if the thing they thought they liked hadn't already gotten likes? Like, I love that play on words there. That
Absolutely.
And I went to
so good.
If you click through to the YouTube version where Pinterest posted that to the Pinterest page, man, the comments on there, like, just people just love the ad. And people are quoting the script and like, I mean, people just, and if you're listening and you didn't see the video, the imagery is like old family movie imagery from
it's nostalgia.
60s,
Yeah, it takes you back.
60s, 70s, 80s. But yeah, those lines, like, how did they know what to think, what to wear, what to love, who to love without somebody telling them? Like,
right.
Oh, that just hits, man. That's a strong message. And apparently they launched it in April, but starting today, it's rolling out across, like, it's really rolling out. So I saw it early, but and it's already got buzz on it, and it hasn't even officially rolled out yet. So it's going to be.
Wonder what the biggest, if you were to break it down, the biggest demographic. If you were breaking this down into demographics, they're probably the most engagement they get are from probably our generation.
On Pinterest?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Or maybe, I don't know. Maybe not.
I don't know, because they cover a lot of ground, man. They've got
maybe Gen Zs too, because I know Gen Zs are kind of, I don't know. They're starting to revolt a little bit about the.
Yeah, I think everybody's starting to revolt with the onslaught of AI content, and like, I saw a Gary V video on that today. He's actually launched a division of VaynerMedia that is going to focus exclusively on analog. Because he believes it's going to shift back to analog that hard.
I believe so too.
So as of 2026, Pinterest has 619 million monthly active users, with a user base that is predominantly female, roughly 70% women, and heavily skewed towards millennials and Gen Z.
Yeah.
Who together make up a significant position of the audience.
Wow.
Major platform for planning and shopping.
That's interesting. Users. I thought Gen X would be one of their biggest segments.
Yeah, no, apparently not. 40% of the U.S. users have a household income over 150,000. So it's a pretty strong place to advertise if you're going to advertise. You can go to the Pinterest. If you just type in Pinterest demographics on Google, there's a page, basically Pinterest's sales page for advertising on there. But I know you can get a lot of click-throughs for like blog posts and, especially like recipes and workouts and home design and all those kind of things. So, it's still a hot place. I mean, 600 million people. And there were some comments, to be fair, there were some comments on the YouTube video that was like, well, there's still a social media platform that's, needs people to be on it to get engagement. And you're like, yeah, that's true. But at least they're trying,
Again, manufactured outrage.
Yeah. Maybe. Could be a plant in the audience.
I don't know. Yeah.
Can't trust anything anymore, can you?
It's hard to.
Yeah. Is that like a
I hate
bot?
that. I don't like to be cynical. I like to be, because I'm a positive person.
Yeah.
I
But
like,
you're getting
I'm a
old.
I know, but I've always been a glass half full, not half empty. But as time goes and you start to see some of the stuff that we see, that it's, it so much is manufactured,
Yeah.
manufactured outrage, manufactured media. It's hard to trust,
Yeah.
especially when you read some of the stuff and you're in this like we are, like
Yeah.
on a day-to-day basis. And
Well, like, our guest that was on a couple weeks ago with the Confessions of a Professional
absolutely. Yeah.
I'm going through that. I haven't finished the book yet, but
Right.
the more I go through it, I'm like, wait a second. I know he said this book was like based on a true story. I know the
Yeah.
cover says it's not a true story. I'm like,
Yeah.
did he play us telling us this was true and it's actually not true? And this is like,
Right.
like I was just going in loops as I was reading.
Mhm.
Like, I don't know if this is true or not true. Like,
Yeah.
is he just playing and doing a giant book of satire? Is he, either way, it's still a great book. Like, it's a great
It is.
story to like listen to read. It
I
reads
was
like a
impressed
novel.
after reading, which
It'd make a great movie, actually.
it would. Like you said, it would be nice to have the actual person,
Yeah. But it would make a great movie because then people would leave the theater like,
Yeah.
wait, are people manipulating? Or are they just telling us that the people manipulate? Like, you would just be in an endless loop trying to figure that out.
Of course.
And you'll never know. So yeah.
Never know.
So anyway, man, that's our
It reminds me, remember Ryan Holiday? I mean,
Yeah.
you read some of his stuff. His book, Confessions of a going on that confessions loop. What is
one of his first books about marketing.
Yeah.
Before he went down the Stoic route.
Yeah.
It's not all Godin's
Confessions
was all
of, like,
marketers are liars.
media liar. Yeah. Something like that.
Wasn't Seth Godin all marketers
Seth
are
Godin
liars?
said all marketers are liars. Yes.
Yeah. I can't
And then
remember
he
what-
said, and then he changed it.
Yeah.
He scratched out liars and then said storytellers on his his second edition.
Yeah. About.
Yeah. Yep. Guess he got some heat from that, but
Yeah.
but yeah, it is interesting in this day and age. Like, can you take anything? Because I think I love that ad.
Yeah.
I think it plays to. Honestly, I feel like it plays to our generation more than anything. But it's interesting looking at the demographic that it's mostly people younger than us.
But that generation is starting to try to go offline. So that makes sense that they would tap into that because Gen Z, like you said, is really starting to push back against digital.
Yeah. We just complain about it. We don't do anything. We're still on it.
But I don't
But
think
even, I had this conversation with my son last week. Like, he's like wanting to go analog and go to an analog phone now, which I think a lot of people in his age demographic, these younger kids are seriously, they're looking at like, I need to get off, because he was like, I'm tapped into Twitter and all of this stuff. He's like, he's feeling he gets sucked in like by all this stuff. And he's like, I need to get a flip phone.
Yeah.
So
that's interesting. How old is he? 20, 21?
Yeah.
22?
Well, he's 20. He'll be 21 in November. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's happening
but his friends they're all having that conversation. It's like, yeah,
it'll be interesting to see what springs up to support that. Like, if enough of them start doing it, like, will meet up, make a comeback? But then that's app based. So then you still got to get online to make it happen. It's like, I mean, when you talk to like our kids about, so my daughter, her boyfriend, he's got a new job as an EMT, and one of the things they're making them do is they have to memorize the city map, like at least the neighborhoods and kind of where the hospitals are, kind of the major intersections, things like that. So that if there's ever a blackout, they can still get around, right? If towers are down, hurricane happens, they still can get around and, get around town. And he was talking about it, and I was like, well, yeah, I delivered pizza in Athens in 1991, and we had a map on the board in Domino's, and you had to memorize before you left the store the route you were going to take, the apartment complex. Like you had to. There was no GPS.
Yeah,
and you couldn't use a state map. It's not detailed enough. So you had to literally just look at the board, and after 2 or 3 weeks, you knew every neighborhood, every apartment complex you were going to.
Right.
And it was no problem. You just memorized all that stuff.
Yep. Absolutely.
So yeah, it'll be interesting to see like how that happens moving forward. So Ryan Holiday's book was Perennial Seller and Growth Hacker Marketing were his 2 marketing books. So
what was it feels like there was a title with The Liar in there.
I think that was the Godin one.
Okay.
Unless it's in the subtitle. No. Yeah. No, Perennial Seller was his marketing book, The Art of Making and Marketing Work That Last. Something like that. So yeah.
All right.
Do we have anybody lined up next week? Or are we?
Possibly. We got some potential guests. But yeah, nothing firmed up, but I'm sure that people are knocking on the door to get on our show. So
I mean, I'm not surprised.
That's why we have to. Okay, here's the book. Here's the book, because I'm like obsessed with this, Sean. Trust me, I'm lying. Confessions of a Media Manipulator is the book.
Okay.
Remember that?
That was Ryan Holiday?
Yeah. Yeah, here it is.
Didn't show up on the list I pulled up.
Because it originally, he's actually published the, there's been an updated book, but this one is, this one's his latest. This is the one that he published. I think this one was like published back in 2012 or something like that, but they've actually updated it to a new edition.
Yeah.
Because I read this book, and that's the book that opened my eyes and made me cynical. So thank you, Ryan Holiday, for making me cynical to everything.
I went to his bookstore a couple of weeks ago when Dustin was in town. We went to Bastrop, so we stopped by the bookstore, and he was in there. He was filming, so he wasn't having a conversation with anybody, but he was doing some,
Does he live in? He
lives in Bastrop, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. That's awesome.
Yeah, got a nice little bookstore. I mean, like if you wanted to own a bookstore.
I didn't know he owned a bookstore.
Yeah, it's a small little, downtown, brick walls. Like it's a really cool little store. Like if I owned a bookstore, that's what I would want to own. Like I've always wanted to own a bookstore / bar.
Yes.
And then I would have an office in the back.
Yes. Yeah. Yep.
Coffee in the morning.
Coffee in the morning, books, all day, and then beer in the
Yeah.
You and I.
That's like the dream. And maybe a gym out back too, if we're gonna just round it out.
Yep.
Little yard with the all the gym equipment. So that's the dream someday.
I'll
retire.
I love it. Yep.
So this is a good episode. Good stuff. Hopefully our listeners took some stuff away.
A lot of good takeaways, man. And we'll post the for our show page, because this is episode, let's see the ticker. 431. So what we'll try to do is have the links on our show page to all of these things.
You just link to that doc I sent you.
Oh, there you go. I'll just link to the doc.
Yeah.
Because we're lazy. I'm lazy. I don't want to have to do any extra work. So I'll just
make sure I've got, let's see. I think I've got it open to everybody, whoever has the link. Yeah. Anyone with the link.
Cool.
So just post that link I sent you, and it's a Google Doc. You can steal it and use it as your own.
So we'll have it posted, the link to the doc that you can access. You have to go to persuasionbythepint.com and look for episode 431. And then click on that, and you'll have access to that. You can see some of the stuff that we've talked about, some of the videos that we've highlighted, and the Cold Cakes website. That's cool, man. I love that.
Yeah, can't wait to hear your success story from that, because I know you're going to use it pretty soon.
I've got 3 prospects that are getting those sent out next week. So
There you go.
I'll try to remember to keep that. If I get feedback, which I'm sure I will, based on the success rate that they've shown. So
Yeah, I mean, based on their numbers, if you send out 3, you should get 2 appointments.
yeah. All right. Sounds good.
To be a win.
Well, hope everyone has a great weekend. Thanks for listening. You can check us out at persuasionbythepint.com. You can check us out on all of your favorite podcast platforms, Spotify, iTunes, you name it. We're there. Leave us 5 stars if you would. We would greatly appreciate it. And we'll see you all next week.
See ya.